The day the mirror broke, I once met a man, let's call him Daniel, who seemed to have it all. He was a high-performance coach, a family man, and a sought-after speaker. His image was pristine, his brand was tight, his routine was optimized to the second. But one afternoon, in the middle of a coaching seminar, he stopped mid-sentence, walked off the stage, and never came back. A few months later, I heard he'd taken a sabbatical. He'd let go of all client work, shut down his social media, and stepped out of his own spotlight. I asked him why. His answer stuck with me. I realized I was constantly managing who I thought I was supposed to be. I was addicted to being Daniel the coach, Daniel the good dad, Daniel the spiritual man. It became exhausting. I didn't lose myself. I never actually had myself. That moment, that inner collapse, isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. It's what chapter 48 of the Tao is pointing us toward. The more we try to gain, build, or polish our identity, the more we become burdened by it. The way, by contrast, invites us to lose, to peel away, to let go. That's the ego detox. Chapter 48 of the Tao Te Ching, for learning you gain daily, for the way you lose daily. Losing and losing, thus you reach non-contrivance. Be uncontrived, and nothing is not done. Taking the world is always done by not making anything of it, for when something is made of it, that is not enough to take the world. The Taoist shift from accumulation to shedding. Chapter 48 says, for learning you gain daily, for the way you lose daily. Losing and losing, thus you reach non-contrivance. In the modern world, we are obsessed with accumulation. More skills, more achievements, more followers, more self-improvement. But Taoist wisdom flips the model. Real growth isn't additive, it's subtractive. It's not about building the perfect version of yourself. It's about removing what you're not, so what remains is true, relaxed, and real. You don't become enlightened by adding more lights. You become enlightened when you stop covering up your light. Let's reframe ego, not as arrogance, but as over-attachment to identity. It's the collection of roles, rules, stories, and self-concepts we grip tightly, hoping they'll give us stability, but instead of freedom, they give us a cage. The bird in the cage. There's an old story about an Indian trader who traveled to Africa and brought home a parrot. He gave the bird the best food, a spacious cage with a view of the park, and even played music to keep it company. He loved the parrot deeply. Before his next trip, he asked the bird, "Do you want me to send a message to your friends back home?" The bird said, "Tell them I'm happy, tell them I sing and eat well, here in my cage." The trader found the wild parrots and relayed the message. But as soon as he did, one parrot grew still, its eyes rolled back, and it dropped to the ground. Shaken, the trader returned home and told his parrot the story. Upon hearing it, the parrot's eyes also rolled back, and it dropped dead in the cage. Heartbroken, the trader opened the cage and gently placed the bird outside. Immediately, the parrot sprang up and flew to a nearby tree. "You tricked me," the trader cried. The parrot called back, "No, my friend told me the secret. If I wanted to be free, I had to die while still alive." That's the ego death. That's the daily losing. We don't need to destroy the self, but we do need to stop being ruled by the false versions of ourselves. The hidden cost of ego. Most of the stress people feel isn't from the world. It's from trying to maintain a story. The parent who's trying to prove they're always patient. The leader who's scared of looking unsure. The athlete who's afraid to lose the identity of being the best ego is exhausting. Tao teaches us to drop what is contrived and let what is real lead. It invites us to lose the need to manage perception. And in doing so, we find something more powerful than any brand: presence. You don't need to be the best version of yourself. You just need to be the most true version of yourself. And truth doesn't shout, it breathes. Detox practice, the identity fast. Here's an action step you can try. Pick one identity you're clinging to too tightly, something that feels like it defines you right now. The good parent, the wise teacher, the high performer, the spiritual one. Now for 48 hours, do a mini detox. Don't announce it. Just Stop performing it. Stop justifying it. Stop using it to gain validation. Instead, be nobody for a day or two. Let yourself go quiet. Let yourself not know. Just be present without trying to be anything else. Notice what falls away. Notice what you don't miss. And notice what remains. That's your Tao. Why less becomes more. When we stop performing, something remarkable happens. We become easier to trust. We become more flexible under pressure. We begin to intuit rather than effort. This is what Chapter 48 calls non-contrivance. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing without friction, doing without ego, doing without trying to be seen. The Tao doesn't oppose action. It simply guides us toward action that arises from stillness, not desperation. The paradox of mastery. Here's a powerful paradox. You can be the best at what you do and not need anyone to know it. That's when you're truly free. You can own wealth without flaunting it. You can lead others without seeking titles. You can speak truth without needing agreement. The moment you stop using effort to hold up your identity is the moment energy returns to your system. That's vitality. That's spiritual power. One final story, the empty cup. A young seeker once came to an old master and said, "I want you to teach me the truth." The master smiled and began to pour tea into the seeker's cup. It filled quickly, but he kept pouring until it overflowed. "Stop," the student cried. "It's already full." The master nodded. "Exactly. You're already full of beliefs, of stories, of identity. Until you empty your cup, I can't pour anything new in." This is what it means to lose daily, to pour out what no longer serves, to cleanse the parts of us that cling, to become empty enough for the Tao to move through us, the most courageous act. In a world obsessed with becoming more, Tao asks us to become less, not less valuable, but less encumbered, less rigid, less performed, and what's left is not emptiness, it's essence. It's the truth behind the roles. It's the light behind the image. It's you. Let yourself be. Let yourself lose. Let yourself live. If this lesson resonated with you, share it with someone who might need permission to let go. And if you've ever experienced an ego detox, or you're in the middle of one, drop a comment below. Let's normalize the quiet courage it takes to surrender the mask. Like, subscribe, share your truth, and above all, keep yielding.